Hi everyone, my name is Yarn Goddess and I'm here again with another Teach Me Thursday video. If you are new to my channel, Teach Me Thursdays is where I sit down with you guys and show you how to do a complicated stitch or a fun pattern. Today, we are going to learn how to do ruffles for the ruffle hats I've been making. I've had a few people ask how do I get them to be so big and how do I make them so quickly, and the answer is 1. I use a 6mm hook. 2. I use 2 strands of yarn. And 3, I increase my stitches by a lot. But first, if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to my channel. If you are already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for supporting me. Let's get to the video. My official ruffle hat pattern will be released on my Ko-fi later this month, but today we're going to learn how to just do the ruffles. So the first thing you're going to do is either grab 2 skeins of yarn or take 1 skein and break it into 2 cakes. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to double your strands here, and you're going to work with them together with a 6mm hook. The reason for doing this is because you want to be able to have your strands be a little bit thicker than usual. You want to use the extra yarn to create more stiffness with your ruffles so they don't flop down on your forehead. I'm going to make a quick base just so I have a round to work in. So now that you have the base of your hat done, the next step is to work 3 double crochet into every stitch all the way around. What this does is it creates a base round of extra stitches to begin your ruffles. The reason why we do 3 instead of 2 is because when I tried doing 2, I noticed that the ruffles didn't really curve as much as I wanted them to, and they more so stuck out and made a brim, but it didn't make a ruffle. And I noticed that when I did 3 in every stitch, that the ruffles began almost immediately. So I am on, I want to say my 4th, on my 3rd double crochet. And you will slowly begin to see how the stitches will begin to curve on itself. In addition, having it double-stranded makes the yarn extra bulky without giving it extra weight. Because I've tried doing ruffles with blanket yarn and thicker yarn, I noticed that the yarn was more so heavy, but it didn't really give the ruffle effect that I was looking for. So you can begin to see that it's beginning to curve a little bit, and as you add more stitches, the ruffles will begin. So I'm going to finish this round, and then we'll start on the second round. When you get to your final stitch, take a look at your stitches and see how they've begun to wave around. Now this is just a base and not a full hat, but you can already see how the ruffles are beginning to form. For your next round, you're going to work 1 double crochet into your first double crochet, and then your second double crochet you're going to work 2 double crochet into the same stitch. This is going to add more stitches to your round, but also not overcrowd your ruffles. So you see how immediately it's beginning to curve some more. Continue for a few more stitches and see if your ruffles begin to ruffle more. It's also very important to note that as you go around in the circle, because you're making ruffles, it's okay if you make a mistake. It doesn't have to be perfect. Because when you're adding additional stitches around in a circle, you should technically end with 2 double crochet in the last stitch. But if you don't, that's fine, because when you're adding additional stitches, as long as it curves, that's all we really care about. So you can already see as I begin to add more stitches, it's curving even more. As you keep going around a circle, I definitely recommend using your hands to kind of shape the ruffles as you go around, because sometimes the ruffles want to be really big and spaced out, and sometimes they want to be really close. You can basically mold it to however you want it to look. So remember, as you go around in a circle, it's 1 double crochet in one, 2 double crochet in the next one, 1 double crochet in one, 2 in the next one. Repeat around, and if you have a mistake, it is a-okay. Mistakes are part of crocheting. So I unfortunately ran out of yarn for the previous ruffle hat I was working on, but here is what your ruffle should look like. So this is just a base for your ruffles to work around in a circle, but you see how big the curvature is? That's basically how your ruffle should look all the way around. You can see right here is why I ran out of yarn. But as you keep going around, your ruffles get bigger and bigger, and when you're done, you should have a bunch of ruffles like this. And the cool thing about this pattern is that you can basically shape the ruffles however you feel like. So if you want them closer and bunched together, you can. If you want them spaced out some more, you can. If you want them to kind of fall, however, you can also let that happen as well. But this is how I make the ruffles for my ruffle hat. The official hat pattern will be released later this month on my Ko-fi. If you're not a member, I highly recommend to go over there and become one. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, feel free to subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye!